Hello everyone, I'm Indica Jackson and this is my Drama 30 oral presentation. I will be doing prompt number 4, summarizing a film we watched and giving you my character analysis. The film I chose to analyze is Real Women Have Curves. The story follows Anna Garcia, a teenager that just graduated from Beverly High School. She is struggling between deciding to go to college and following her mother's wishes to get married, have a family, and help her sister in her clothing boutique. Along the way, Mr. Guzman, one of her teachers from her school, notices how talented she is and encourages her greatly to enroll into Columbia University in New York. Her mother, Carmen Garcia, is adamant that she should stick with the traditions of her family and help her sister. As the movie progresses, she starts off, kind of ignorant of the world around her, but then she grows up and understands that family is important, but she can't deny her own wishes. So, with the help of the encouragement of her grandfather and her father, and the relationship that she is currently in at the time, she decides to take the opportunity to go to college and to better herself and her community. So this movie, Real Women Have Curves, is Anna Garcia's, coming out story, deciding about who she is, and it's also the story of you don't have to be a skinny woman to be considered beautiful and can be considered to be wanted by, a man. The conflict of the story is her pursuing her dreams and trying to please her mother. So, I will first start by discussing Anna Garcia. Anna, at the start of the movie, is very ignorant to what her sister Estella is going through. She doesn't want to be there at first because her mother forces her, which in turn she grows some resentment. Anna at first doesn't understand why she has to help her sister, why she can't just, do what she wants. But later on, as the film progresses, she grows as she sees what her sister goes through with the business. And she sees the struggles that her sister Stella has to go through to keep the business open. Then she understands that she's lived a very sheltered life, and that she does want to help her sister, and she stays long term over the summer to help her. Carmen's mother, however, does force her to stay and help her sister, but what keeps Anna there helping also is the guilt and the guilt trips that Carmen Garcia puts on her daughter. She always tells her she's fat, always tells her that if you don't learn how to stick with family traditions and to do certain things, no one's going to want to marry you. Carmen, I don't think she's a mean mother. She was raised a certain way herself and wants to raise her children that way. Anna's older sister, Stella, is a good example. the life that she has isn't a bad one. Being, a working woman and wanting to be married and raise children is a very good thing. She, has stayed with the family traditions, which is not bad for anyone to do. But as I previously stated, Anna Garcia also has her own desires, and she doesn't like the fact that she has to push them all aside to only do one thing. So Carmen, Estella, and Anna's mother, I wouldn't consider her really a loving mother, but she is a mother that expects her children to stay with the family traditions and work and raise families, which is again a wonderful thing. But Carmen forces her children to do it. She puts a guilt trip on Anna to keep her, obeying her mother. Carmen doesn't consider what Anna wants. She just says that this is family tradition and you must do it. Carmen and Anna's mother, Anna's father and grandfather, they're low key. They always encourage her to improve herself. Her father and grandfather, they both try to keep the peace. Anna's father does fight for her and does want her to get educated. But at the same time, he wants to keep, Carmen, happy as well. So Anna Garcia is, stuck between a rock and a hard place. She wants to better herself, like, what her father says she can do, and she wants to also please her mom. So her teacher, Mr. Guzman, is a male figure like her father that always encourages her to do better. He does the things he does in the movie because he doesn't want, not that he doesn't appreciate family tradition, but he also wants her to, strike out on her own, to achieve her dreams. I believe he comes from the place where he understands the hardworking families, and he might not want Anna to have that same, life, just working. So he wants her to improve herself and go to college so that she can be a better help to her family and her community. So he's always encouraged, he was one of the main sources of encouragement for Anna to go to college. So so she has a relationship with this one boy in the movie. So he wants to become a teacher. So he's encourages her as well. And he's also another, kind of force for encouragement. And Carmen sees him as, the destroyer of the family tradition, even though he's one of the main forces of encouragement, like Mr. Goodman and Anna Garcia's mom, grandfather, and father. So I do think Stella loves her daughters and wants to see them succeed, but at the same time, she wants them to stay within the bounds of the tradition and how she was raised. Stella followed exactly with her mom's wishes, she may have felt pressured, and throughout the movie, the look on her face says that she does feel guilty, but it's not any fault of her own. And Anna Garcia doesn't want to completely do what her mom's wishes are, because she doesn't totally understand. She helps her sister, but at the same time she has desires of her own. And then that brought tension between the whole family. So there, for my life, between Estella's and Carmen's and Anna's relationship is very, in contrast with me and my mom's, is very different. My mom always encourages me to get an education. She always wants me to improve myself and better myself. She always tells me, don't worry about working, don't worry about a job, just focus on improving yourself and don't stop your education. We have great family. We have our family traditions as well, as far as going to church, as far as, helping our family out, helping each other out. But at the same time, she always instills in me, don't forget your own desires, and don't always, as sometimes it's important to remember to achieve your dreams as well. And so there isn't tension being brought into our own family. So she's always encouraging me to continue my education and to help the family. But there's a good balance. With my family, there's a good balance of that. My mother doesn't put guilt on me. So she doesn't put guilt on me. She's always encouraging me to achieve my dreams in my education. I have encouraging teachers at LMC that are always encouraging me to do better. My counselor is always one of them. So my counselor takes the role of Mr. Guzman, always encouraging me to do better, and always telling me how smart I am. So I can relate to this movie very much. My mom is a working woman. She started going to college, but she didn't finish. So she's always telling me to finish. And she's working, so she's always working. So me and my sister don't have to. So I appreciate her for that. So the movie, so there's also a deep contrast between economic and social status, because Carmen, and her family, they live in East LA, and the school is in Beverly Hills, and Beverly Hills is supposed to be a more higher social status, it's a place where really well-off families live. So that's at this tone. So when I first found out that's where she goes, I really instantly saw that deep contrast, that deep separation of economic status. Also, when Estella Garcia was dealing with Mrs. Glass, the lady, the lady that she works for, a manufacturing company that she works for. I saw a deep contrast between that, because she's the domestic worker, and Mrs. Glass is the owner of the company, and she's the one giving orders. And to be honest, there is also that race separation. Like Garcias are the Latinos, and they're Latino descent, and Mrs. Glass is Caucasian. So they put that economic and racial boundaries there, which is also very striking, I noticed. At the end of the movie, Anna does get to, Columbia University. So that means, and that is a very, it's one of the best schools university. So that ending tells me that just because you may be from a disadvantaged background, or your background may not be considered as good as someone else's, you can still have your dreams satisfied. You can still go to the same colleges, and you can still have what you want. Race, ethnicity, social class does not have to define you. Your how you look doesn't have to define you. Because in the film, Anna Garcia was walking very proudly in New York, going to our college and taking classes. So the world does not define who you are, and your body doesn't. Your social class doesn't define who you are. They are. I do believe that they, situations like these do influence who you are, but they don't define who you are. If that makes sense. So, this has been my presentation on my analysis of Where Women Have Curves. The movie really relates to me and my family. My mom and my dad are both from other countries, so I appreciate the opportunity to see these different movies and these different films. So as I close, in conclusion of my presentation, I will say that definitely always remember who you are. Definitely achieve your dreams, and remember there's always people in your homes, in your neighborhoods, in your schools that are there to help you. Thank you.